What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Got some good thoughts from today's readings. Super excited to kind of dive on into this, especially as far as adaptability goes. Something's personally just happened in my life, which means I'm going to have to adapt to some changes, and I'm excited because it just gets to test my versatility. It's going to make things for me it's just going to change things up, and I'm just excited about it. So let's dive on in. Today we're going to be doing chapter 5 verses 12 through 16, and we'll start out as always with our big book, the main book. So chapter 5 verse 12. The onset of troops is like the rush of a torrent, which will even roll stones along in its course. Verse 13. The quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. This one I like. I mean, I like the one about the stones, but I like the well-timed swoop of a falcon. And I'll tell you more about that once we finish. Verse 14, therefore, the good fighter will be terrible in his onset and prompt in his decision. I think that, when he says terrible in his onset, I think it means ferocious. I don't think it means like bad. I think it means, he's very ferocious and unforgiving in the way that he attacks. Number 15, energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of a trigger. And number 16, one of my favorites, amid the turmoil and tumult of battle, there may be seeming disorder and yet no real disorder at all. Amid confusion and chaos, your array may be without head or tail, yet it will be proof against defeat. And it might be good to kind of work backwards from that, just because when you think of an array, it's columns and rows, to get technical. And in the business world, and what this means for, again, right, everything we do on this channel is about relating it to your business life, how to be successful in your personal life, or whatever endeavors you take on. And so with an array, you're going to be attacking from all sides. And if you think back to the last video and one of the last verses, it's the army that does attack from head on, but the army that attacks from the side that wins. And so with this array, without head or tail, will be your proof against defeat. Like, it will be the reason that you win. So if you take that and you apply that to business or personal life, if you're like a falcon and you time it right and you make sure that everything, make sure that you've got all your bases covered before you attack, but that you do it, then you should be successful. Right? Therefore, the good fighter will be terrible in his onset and prompt in his decision. So it might be something as simple as becoming, wanting to be better at the gym, becoming physically healthy. You're determined, you're ferocious, you're getting after it, but at the same time, you have to be prompt as you go through it. You have to be adaptable as time goes on. And when you're in the midst of it, you have to be prompt. You have to be able to make well-timed decisions, and you can't spend too much time trying to gather all the evidence, because like that one quote that I gave several videos ago, you know, you're not always going to have all of the inputs in order to make a decision. You'll always be waiting for more and for more and for more. So the onset of troops is like the rush of a torrent, which will even roll stones along in its course. I think that we need to pause there and move into the pocketbook version of it and kind of see what some of the interpretations are. This gives me a little bit better insight. And they use a bunch of the verses and truncate it into one. So Master Sun says, when the speed of rushing water reaches the point where it can move boulders, this is the force of momentum. When the speed of a hawk is such that it can strike and kill, this is precision. So it is with skillful warriors. Their force is swift, their precision is close. Their force is like drawing a catapult, their precision is like releasing the trigger. Dumu responds to this with the interpretation of their force is swift in the sense that the force of the momentum of battle kills when it is released. That is why it is likened to a drawn catapult. I think that when you move all of those things together, you get a little bit different of a decision. It makes it makes what needs to be separated out not so easy to figure out. And I like sort of the interpretations from the master book. I do sort of like each individual interpretation of the verses here, in the sense of when the speed of a hawk is such that it can strike and kill, this is precision, as opposed to the big version. I do like that you need to be precise and you need to act with precision. So a skillful warrior, the force is swift, precision is close. The force is like drawing a catapult, but the precision is releasing the trigger of it. You've got to know when to call the shots. You've got to know when to let go, or when to move on, or when to release something into the market and go forward with your plan, or launch your new product, etc. Excuse me. I felt that one coming on. Sorry, everybody. Disorder arises from order. Cowardice arises from courage. Weakness arises from strength. Li Kuan interprets this as, if you presume on the orderliness of government and fail to provide for the comfort of the governed, thus creating much resentment, disorder is certain to arise. Jia Lin says, if you presume on order, disorder will arise. If you presume on courage and strength, timidity and weakness will arise. Dumu says, what this means is that if you want to feign disorder so as to lead opponents on, first you must have complete order. For only when you can create artificial disorder, if you want to feign cowardice to spy on opponents, first you must be extremely brave. For only then can you act artificially timid. If you want to feign weakness to induce haughtiness in opponents, first you must be extremely strong. For only then can you pretend to be weak. I'm just double checking here the next one about, yeah, I think that's next. Yeah, those are the next couple of ones. Yeah, weakness arises from strength. So I do like Dumu's interpretation. You know, if you're gonna lure the opponents out by pretending to be weak, you need to be ready. You need to be strong at first. You need to know what you're getting yourself into. So let me move over to my notes that I took. talk a little bit about some takeaways. So in verse 13, like a falcon, you must have keen sight on timing the attack, whether for launch or pivoting. So one of the books I'm reading right now, The Lean Startup, talks about when it's time to pivot in your business or in your startup. A lot of companies that are successful nowadays, they did this. They had an idea, they went to market, but the market demanded something else, so they pivoted and arose from there. And so, like the falcon, you need to be keen on the timing of what's going on, and you need to be aware. And like on verse 14, if you are a good soldier, if you are good at what you're doing, you'll be relentless, you will persevere, but you will not linger on decisions. You're going to be adaptable. And so I expounded upon this in the kind of when I was going through it. And then number 16, be in control of the chaos you create, so that you may win while the enemy is confused. So that was the array: create the chaos, be in control of it. This reminds me of one of these videos on YouTube that I just watched about changing your habits, changing your mental state in order to achieve a different outcome, and kind of a mind over matter sort of thing. And I think that this is a great example of that, in the sense of, if you're forcing the chaos, right? If you force the change, right? I'm waking up every morning now, I'm ready to hit the gym, or I'm going to start eating well, I'm going to start choosing the salad over the french fries, I'm going to launch this new company, I'm going to do this. Be in control of that disorder that you create, because otherwise your attempt to change it won't work. And so whether it's, maybe conquering a mental illness, or, spiritually, or becoming better at investing, whatever your goal might be, you need to be in control of the chaos. And I've experienced this a lot recently with my LLC, Thomas Wilson and Co. I'm trying to add some products to the website, and I'm trying to automate a few things. But at the same time, I've been trying to read books, and it's been a goal of mine to read more books this year than last year, because in 2019 I read a lot of books, but I got away from the habit, and I listened to a lot of podcasts last year in 2021. And so I want to get better about reading books. And so I've really piled a lot onto my plate, and I wasn't really controlling the chaos that I created in my life. And so the outcome has been good, but I haven't been following the strategy set forth by the Art of War. And it's created a little bit of a cognitive dissonance, in the sense of, I'm not struggling, I'm doing well, but I'm pivoting now, in part thanks to these little fireside chats about the Art of War, in understanding that I need to not burn myself out, and that I need to make sure that when I do create this disorder, I need to be in control of it. And so having a goals board and setting goals and following through on them is going to be the way to go. I can't just attack this head on. I have to have a strategy before diving into it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. As always, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. If there's anything in this video that you like, drop a comment below with the quotes, and that way others can get some takeaways from it. If there's anything that you guys want to add to the conversation, let me know. Otherwise, until next time, friends, have a good weekend.